Wow, it's Sisters Day 2025. God's Kingdom Society Women Fellowship United Kingdom gather here today, June 21st, 2025, for their annual Sisters Day. It's going to be packed full of events, including emotional well-being session, mindfulness session, and the cooking session. We want to go back to our land today to learn how to make pap and akamu, or pap/akamu. Yeah? You want to learn some? This is your regular reporter, Sister Adaze Arubi, reporting for God's Kingdom Society, United Kingdom branch. Stay tuned while we bring you the documentary for the event today. Thank you.
Honor thy Lord with thy substance and thy first fruits of thy increase, so shall prosperity abide in what thou findest to do. Satan won't prevail on thy ways by destructive plans of thy foes, but blessing shall with thee abide in what thou findest to do. Now give unto God his due thanks for his benefits to thee, enriching store with plenteous gifts in what thou findest to do.
With the program, today is not a day of too much. Today is for our program that we have planned to do. Tomorrow, we will do a lot of talking here. So, I know Sister Daze, you're standing there, but the first program is yours.
Oh,
Yes. So, we are not going to, because we know some sisters have joined us online. So thank you very much, sisters, those that are online. And also, I want to give thanks to God because I went upstairs to see the new recording, and I cannot believe the resolution. It is so clear. So well done to Sarah and sisters. So this means that those that are joining us online, they will enjoy today. They will be able to see everything and hear us clearly by God's grace. So well done. You stay on there, don't go.
thank God.
So
Yeah.
we're going to start our program. The first program that we have, well-being, emotional well-being. We touched about that last year, and it was very helpful. As we all know, we live in a very busy world. At work, even coming here today has been a challenge for some of us. Everything that we do in the Western world, in fact all over the world, not Western world, everything we do now is very challenging. But as God said that in the last day knowledge shall increase, and indeed that knowledge has increased, to tell some people that there is something called emotional well-being. Not just the physical well-being, my leg they pain me, my hand they pain me, I get headache. There is another thing that is not physical that affects us as human beings, and that's our emotional well-being. And we have been told now, doctors and those that have done a lot of research, they have told us that as we will look out for our legs and our limbs and every part of our body, that we protect them, we don't want to break leg, we should also not allow our emotional health to decline. Therefore, Sister Adaze, who is quite knowledgeable in this field, will come and talk to us on how we as GKS Christian women should check our emotional well-being in everything that we do. Sisters Wado.
Okay, as we heard from the secretary, the topic is emotional well-being. But this is not a speech. Neither is it a sermon. It's a talk among sisters. And it's a reminder of what we already know. Because when it comes to emotional wellness, we need that reminder from time to time to push us to do what we need to do. But before I proceed, I must acknowledge the two higher powers. Jehovah, the Almighty God, and His beloved Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving us the opportunity to gather here again today for Sisters' Day, and for their protection from day to day, second to second, because indeed it is for their mercies that we are not consumed. Their compassions indeed failed not. Now, emotional well-being. Before I start, I know it's not a lot of us here, but I just want those of us here, even those of us online, you recognize. Just talk to the person beside you. I just want you to ask that person a question. How are you doing today? Ask the person sitting next to you, and please note their answers, because we shall visit the answer later by the grace of God. So, ask the person next to you. Make sure you note the answers. Those of you online, you can ask anyone with you in the house, or you can also post your response.
I'm very well, thank you.
Yes.
How are you doing, Mama?
How are we doing today?
How are you, Mama?
This is a question that people ask us from time to time. Every second of the day, we walk past anyone, we say hi, they ask, how are you doing today? And we respond.
Fine, thank you.
Whatever response you've got it today, please note it, because we will get back to that response as we go on. What is emotional well-being? Emotional well-being is that quality of our emotions and how they affect our day-to-day life. That quality of whether we are sad, whether we are happy, whether we are frustrated, whether we are hungry, or whether we are excited. The quality of that emotion and the frequency of those emotions and how they affect our general well-being, whether physical or mentally. That is what emotional well-being is. It's something that people tend to ignore a lot. Probably because it's something you cannot see, you cannot touch, but you can understand. We say this often. If we have a cut in our hand and it's bleeding, everyone will run enter scatter here, asking you, Oh, what's wrong with your hand? Are you okay? Do you need a plaster? Do you need this? But sometimes we do forget that our mind is injured sometimes. And our minds can be bleeding sometimes. And the only person to know is that person feeling it. And that is why we must create that awareness to ask and notice certain things amongst us, especially as children of God. Notice how that sister is doing. Notice the difference in that child. Ask questions. When you ask how you are doing, ask with compassion and ask to really know how they are doing. From time to time, our emotions fluctuate in us. Sometimes 1 minute we are happy, and the next minute, oh my God, we're sad. And the next minute, oh, excited. This is what is called the emotional roller coaster. Just like the roller coaster, it goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. That is how our emotion is sometimes. But the most important thing is for us to know that all those feelings are okay. At every aspect of our life. Every aspect of our life. Be it in our relationship, be it in our workplace, be it in our churches, be it in our schools, with our neighbors, with our colleagues. Because if we cannot put our emotions under control, our emotions will take control of us. And if our emotions take control of us, it's either we lash it on ourselves or we lash it on others. And when it comes to emotional wellness, it is better to act than to cure. Because if you wait for you to get angry and you get beyond control, there is a lot of things that will go with that. But if you know your triggers, all these things you will know when you evaluate your emotions from day to day. Oh, this is the very thing that is making me sad today. Things have not been okay today, and I am sad. I am not okay. Okay, now you know why you are sad. What are we going to do to that thing that is making you sad? Can you do something about it? Then do something about it. You cannot do something about it? Then speak to someone about it. That person might be able to help you out. And that is why when it comes to emotional wellness, we must have somebody to talk to. Make that connection. Do not suffer in silence. Do not struggle with your emotions in silence. Remember, it's okay to cry. Remember, it's okay to get frustrated. Remember, it's okay for you not to be happy. And remember, it's okay not to be okay. We are humans. Remember, even Jesus Christ wept when his very close friend Lazarus died. Even though he knew he had the power to raise Lazarus out from grave. But because Jesus Christ was human then, that human in him came in and he wept when he looked at his friend lying motionless. He wept. If our Lord and Master Jesus Christ can express his emotions, why can't we express our emotions? And as such, it is very, very important for us to connect, make that connection. You don't trust people? There must be one person. If you know you're feeling low, which is normal, nobody's going to judge you for that. Anyone that judges people based on their emotions, they are not emotionally intelligent. And we are striving to be emotionally intelligent. How can we be emotionally intelligent? When we are able to put our emotions under control despite any circumstances, especially in the most difficult circumstances. When we are supposed to act negatively, we pause, take and then redirect the actions. So we don't act, we react. So it goes a long way to help us and also help the people around us. If we can put our emotions under control, it will help us to build resilience. That ability for you to bounce back despite all persecutions, despite all troubles, despite all problems. Or that ability to remain with your problem without taking negative action. That is resilience. If we can put our emotions under control, we will be resilient. And it goes a long way to help us with our communication as well. If we can put our emotions under control, it helps us communicate greatly, even in the most difficult conversation. You take it in and you give back in a calm and respectful manner. This is what I tell my students most times. You can make your point clear. You don't have to be rude to make your point clear. You can stand by your point and stand by your decision without being rude. That is a sign of emotional maturity. And when we have this, it will go a long way to help us to receive feedback and also give feedback. Constructive feedback. Although as humans, we know we have to be careful who we take feedback from. Because some people feedback are destructive feedback. Because they have watched you and they have seen that your light is shining, and they come to you, they want to destroy that step. And as such, the feedback they give to you, they are destroying you to kill your self-esteem and to kill your emotional strength. And as such, we have to be watchful. There are different ways that we can know if feedback is constructive or destructive. But the most important one lies on the tone of the feedback. And if that person is giving you feedback in love or in hatred. So it's very, very important when we look after our emotions. Because it will go a long way, a very, very long way, to also help us reduce stress in life. Because if we can put our emotions under control, it will go a long way to help us reduce stress. It will help us build strong relationships. Because then you will understand more when to speak and when not to speak. And you will understand more when the comment given to you is getting into your head and is affecting you, affecting your well-being. And the next moment is going to be an outburst of anger. You will know when to slow down and work. And that is why emotional regulation dwells mainly on us putting our emotions under control despite any difficult circumstances. And as such, how can we boost our emotional well-being? First and foremost, we must learn to be content with what we have. And we must learn to practice gratitude. Because some of us are not realistic about our strengths and our weaknesses. We are not realistic about the goals we set for ourselves. If we set goals for ourselves, let's make sure that those goals are realistic. Because if they are not realistic, we cannot achieve the goal. And if we do not achieve those goals, that is when the disappointment comes that will instigate those negative emotions. And as such, let's be content, be satisfied, and know our strength and how we can go. And let's remember to practice gratitude. Gratitude has that healing power that can dig deep into our emotions and turn negative circumstances into positive ones. Because as we look around, sometimes we tend to think about the things that are not going right for us. But if we look around, no matter how difficult our circumstance is, we will see that one thing that is going right for us. And as such, in our difficult moments, at the time when we have those negative emotions, the best way to push those negative emotions away is to begin to replace them with positive ones. And how can we replace it with positive ones? It is easier said than done. Because when it comes to emotional well-being, there's no quick fix. We have to look and acknowledge tiny, tiny wins. If you're looking for wins in the bigger picture, then it will be difficult for you to put your emotions under control. It will be difficult for you to achieve that emotional wellness. And as such, when we're going through those difficult circumstances, let's bring ourselves into a position where we think about that good thing that is going on in our life. And then we become negative, emotionally biased. By pushing those negative ones aside, not denial, because we must not deny our emotions, whether positive or negative. We must embrace them and express them. Because if you deny them, you are not solving the problem. You are postponing the problem, and the problem will still be there. So if you feel sad today, embrace it. It's not a matter of I'm not accepting it, I'm not sad. Embrace it. You're embracing it does not mean that you are taking it in and you're just putting it under control. As you embrace those negative emotions, express them. And this is the time for you to talk. Pick up that phone call. Call that person that you know that is your loved one. Talk to them about how you're feeling. Express that emotion. I feel like crying now. Give them tissue. Allow them to cry out. While they are crying out, whisper all the positive moments into their ear. As you whisper the positive moments into their ear, continue to assure them that there are still lots of positivity ahead. And they will only see.
So our next session will be mindfulness. Yeah? But before we go into that, I want to just, as I said earlier on, today is not about too much talk. But I want to open up for any questions and answers that anyone might have for Sister Daze on how to be watchful of our mindfulness, but of our emotional health. But the Bible, as Sister Daze said, is complete in everything. And we are Christian women, we cannot do anything without acknowledging what the Bible says about that topic. As we are sat here, I thought, what does the Bible say about emotional well-being? And I went in and I saw, in the world, they acknowledge that emotional well-being is something that is recognized by the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because God and us human, we go through emotions. If you remember, in certain Bible quotations, we are told that it pained God that He created man in Genesis. Jesus Christ wept. Jesus Christ was angry. Yeah? Yes, all of that. So emotional well-being is well complete. Even the preacher said it in Ecclesiastes 3. The whole of it almost says there is a time for everything. There's a time to be happy. Things will happen and there will be time to be sad, time to be joyful, time to bury, time to marry, time for everything. And all those things cloud our emotions or add to where we are with our emotions. But one of the things that Sister Daze said that I felt that we need to be really mindful of is that the fact that our emotions can be triggered. So if you know, I know my trigger. I know some people that trigger me. And that is part of knowing how to check your emotions. At work, I know people that trigger me. And immediately I see them, I watch. I compose myself. When I get an email from them, I calm down and I read it. And when I'm responding, I'll check what I'm writing. because they trigger me for reasons. In everything that we do in life, we have people like that in our lives. Some trigger you for good, some when you see them, you're so happy, oh, you relax, you're yourself, you don't have to hide anything. The same way, some trigger you negatively. So I'm not going to talk anymore about this. I'm going to open up for any questions to Sister Nathan. Sister Zwado.
Yeah. I stand to thank God Almighty and His beloved Son Jesus Christ, and to thank Sister Nathan. Thank you so much. It was fantastic. One thing I want us to consider or to understand or to ask you, is it wrong as a Christian to seek counseling support? If not, do we encourage it? Because I find that majority of the times we have people, and not go tell this person, no go that side before they diagnose you with depression and anxiety. But we are in a society where counseling is so important. Therapy is important. We as Christian women, we get our support based on the Bible. Counselors get that knowledge from what they have been trained to do. So if you are saying it's not bad as a Christian woman, let us encourage it. Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much. It's a very good question. And I was planning to get to that at the end, briefly. But as I was seeing the round-up sign, I had to stop quickly. As Christians, it is good. It is also good for us to seek counseling help. One thing we must make clear is this. When you are going through those difficult emotions and you are expressing them, it's not a lack of faith. Because some people think, if I accept this thing, and I say that, and I say this, is it that I'm doubting my faith? No, it is not a lack of faith. The Bible encourages medicine. Counseling is a medicine. It's a therapy. And if you know, and that was where I was going before I had to round up, everything that we have said here today, you practice it to put your emotion under control. After you have done those ones and you see yourself still in that position, then you must seek professional advice. You must go for therapy. But whatever we do as Christians, we know that we have to pray as well. As we are praying and believing in God, we have to be acting as well. So going for counseling is not wrong. It's good for us as Christians. Know when you need it, seek for help, accept it, continue to pray, and you never can tell. God uses people to answer prayers. So your prayer will always be answered. It's not a lack of faith. Just go for it. That's the simple answer. Thank you.
Any more questions? May I also say, like Sister Adaze said, it's a sign of you go for therapy. It is not a sign of weakness. It does not mean you are weak. When you're seeking help, it doesn't mean you're weak. It actually means you are a strong person. You want to correct it. And with God on your side, things will go well by His grace and power. Thank you.
Thank you, sisters. Any more? You're ready. Get your hand up.
Yeah, what?
Okay, thank you.
Like what everyone has said, yeah, it's true. Seeking help, there's something wrong with it. And you know, very sorry. I don't want to go and see I don't want to go and see my GP for a repeat prescription. As soon as I sat down there, because my first one actually seen her, and we were talking, and she said to me, "Oh, so this is prescription you take and everything." I said, "Yes." Then she looked at my surname. "So you're from Nigeria?" I said, "Yes, I am." "Oh," she said, "No, I'm also married to a Nigerian man." Yes, and she's an English woman. He said, "But the family wants us to have a child. Well, I'm a husband, we don't want a child. What do you think about that?" Well, I said to her, children is a blessing. But if you and your husband decide that you don't want to, you must also have your reason why. I said, but don't take the family that to be a bad person. Because in Africa, we see children as a blessing and also as a threat as well. Me that went to see doctor, it was the other way around. So I took over from doctor because she really wanted to speak to somebody and she really wanted to understand that Nigerian tradition and why they really deeply want children. So, and I said to her that if you make the family to understand, you and your husband, it's not like you are the one that don't want it, your husband wants it, but if both of you are deciding that you don't want it, then you make the family to understand. And I'm sure they will also understand you guys. When I come out to repeat prescription, I come out to, when we begin to laugh, say, hey, another one, like with this, you know, but she really needed somebody to speak to. So sometimes, if people come to us to talk to us, share us their own mind, yeah, give them the advice that is best that you give to them, okay? And then don't use it as another topic to go and discuss with your sister, say, hey, see you, and this one, this is telling you, and this one, this is no. You that's already given you, because that person that comes to you to come for that advice, she sees that respect in you, and she knows that talking to him or her, you will also help her with that emotional anger that you have inside you. So when you come and give them that advice, then by the grace of God, everything will come well. And you, that you give that advice, let that advice also be within you as well. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The point I would draw from there is that connection, talking to people. When it comes to emotional well-being, or even every aspect of our life, it's good for us to speak up. We cannot emphasize it enough. Don't suffer with your emotions in silence. Oh, I don't trust this one. If I go tell Anna, I will do this. Look for the person that you trust. Even if it is a total stranger. Even if it is your workplace. Can I just talk to you? We all, from past experience, we know that problem shared is halfway solved already. Let's not be in isolation when it comes to our emotions. I know it's very difficult because some people will use your own problem to mock you. But let's be vigilant and know who those people is. Because one of the ways, I talked about feedback and constructive feedback. One of the things that identify negative feedback is gossiping. Whatever you're giving somebody feedback on, let it remain with you. Don't go there, don't go here, don't go here, don't go here and tell them. But that point is clear. Talk to someone. Some people are dying to speak. Some people are dying to speak. They don't have anybody to speak to. A postman can come to your house and deliver something. Then you start talking. Within you will say, what did they do these people? Why did they talk like you don't know? They don't have anybody to talk to. So let's just try and be the listening ear. That is why that song is always in my mind, and I always use it with my students. That says sometimes in our lives we all have pains, we all have sorrows. But if we are wise, we will know that these things are okay. Because it won't be long again when I will need a shoulder to lean on. You understand? Sometimes in our lives, we all have pains, we all have sorrow. Well, if we are wise, we know someday, somewhere tomorrow, lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you
Thank you, sister. So with that beautiful song, we will round up this session. And I will give Sister Adaze a little bit of time to have a breather, because it's coming back to Sister Adaze for mindfulness. Again, we did that last year, and we all found it really, really beneficial. So we're going to do that again. And I remember last year, some people almost fell asleep. No, they did fell asleep. Yeah. So again, this is part of...
Let's ask if there's any question from online.
Okay. Yes. Oh yes, thank you. So is there anyone wanting to ask any questions, Ella?
Online?
Online? Any hands up? Any comments? No. Okay, so I'll invite you those online. If you do have a question after the mindfulness session, you can post your questions and Sister Adaze will answer. Also, I hope you online also, sisters online, you're ready to join in this next activity, because it is very, very beneficial. So without further ado or say, I will hand over to Sister Adaze for another session.
Remember when I started the emotional well-being talk? I told you to look at the person sitting beside you and to ask them a question. What was that question?
How are you
feeling today? So when you ask that question, can we get responses, please? Yes. Who asked you the question and what was your response?
Where's the other mic?
Where's the other mic? Yeah. Who asked you the question and what was your response?
I was sitting with Sister Connie, so I asked her the question, how is she doing today? She said she's doing fine. However, she was disappointed coming into this hall, seeing the number of sisters, despite all the announcements over the months with the attendance. And I said to her, when it got to my turn, I said to her, I felt the same way. She said, apart from the traffic and that one, she's actually fine.
Thank you very much. I saw you asking Sister Yarume. Okay, thank you. Give to Sister Jumoke, please.
Okay.
Who did you ask if they were doing okay? This was how we started the first session for those of you who came late. Sorry. Yeah. But we can still ask Sister Rume. You too, you can still ask her, how is she doing today? And you respond. Yeah.
I did ask Sister Mary.
Okay.
She said she's feeling very well today.
Okay.
And then I asked Sister Yerume and Sister Blessing as well.
Okay.
They all feel good today.
They all feel good today. We thank God. Who else asked questions? Did you ask anybody questions, sister?
No, Sister A.B. asked me.
Okay, give
Sister Jumoke.
Okay.
And she said she's feeling very well today.
Okay, give to Sister Abby, please. Sister Abby, then you pass to Sister Rume.
I asked Sister Afro and she said she was doing good.
Okay.
But Sister Afro will do good now because she just came back from
Yes.
the
Did Sister Afro ask you though?
That's the bad one. She didn't ask
You
me.
see where we're coming from? This is where we're coming from. Okay, did you ask Sister?
I actually asked Sister Eunice when I picked her up and she said she was fine.
Okay, good. Sister Eunice, did you ask her?
Yes, I did. I asked her as well how she was doing today. She said she's fine.
Yes, very, very vital. We're bringing out a point. We ask how we are doing. Most of us say we are fine. But one point I want to draw out is this. When you are asked how you're doing, it doesn't matter who is asking you or not. Be sincere with your emotions. If you know you're not fine today, say you're not fine. Yesterday was Liver's Day for my year levels. 5 years I've been with them. In the assembly, I cried. I left the assembly and a younger student came to me. How are you doing, miss? Are you okay? Are we going to do Friday dance? I said, it's Friday, we will do Friday dance, but I'm in a low mood today. When we know we are low, let's say we are low, the person can just talk and it goes a long way. So, because of time, if you're not okay, you are asked that question, don't rush to answer. Especially if you know the person that is asking you that question. be sincere. It goes a long way to help us with our emotional wellness. And now we're going into the mindfulness session. It's a time for total silence and a time to bring our minds back to this place. That is what mindfulness is. Mindfulness, simply put, means be present. Sister Jane, if you can move to that end so that there's space for people to stretch out their arms if they want to. Yes, mindfulness simply means be present. Wherever you are, just be there. Sometimes our mind travel. If it does, it's okay. That's what mind do. Just bring the mind back. And sometimes when we're going through all those stress, all those emotional roller coaster, let's stop and breathe. So today, it is. Now the water is gone to your tummy area. You can also feel it. Continue to take that deep breath. Relax. This is not a moment to think about the troubles. This is a moment to pamper yourself and refocus your mind. This is not a moment for you to think of your troubles. That cold water is still there in your tummy area. And now it's dripping towards the thigh region. You can feel it there. Of course, because it's a very hot weather today. It's there, it's just going round. It's gone to the knee. The water is gone down to the knee. And now to the legs. It's there. You can feel it dripping down your foot. Which of the fingers is that cold water touching the most? Can you feel it? Wow. This is a moment for loving kindness. That cold water is still on my feet. I don't want to let that cold water go because it's so hot. I am retaining it on my feet. I am putting my feet on the floor and I can feel the floor because I still want that cold water to just remain there. And gradually, the water is now on the floor. It's no longer on my feet, but I can still feel it. I can feel my shoes on that water. I am tempted to jump on it like a muddy puddle because the weather is so hot. I'm taking in that deep breath. In and out. In and out. Eyes closed. Continue to take that deep breath in. Out. Just continue for a few seconds. In and out. Remember how special you are. Remember how loving you are. Remember how unique you are. Remember you are the best. Remember you're fearfully made by the Most High. Taking that deep breath in and out. In and out. Now gradually begin to open your eyes. Open your eyes gradually. Open your eyes gradually. Look at your surrounding. Wow, full of beautiful sisters in white. Wow. Begin to stretch out your hands and just shake and wiggle. Come back to the room and relax. Final deep breath in and out. Next time we are breathing, let's remember to breathe. By feeling that breath, it goes a long way to help us with our emotional wellness. If our emotional wellness is not balanced, our whole life is at risk. Let's come back to the room gradually while we wait for feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So, thank you very, very much again, Sister Naze. What we have done here, if all of us won't pay for this, is paid. I've done it at work, and we paid £160 per person to do what we just did here. So we must not take it like play. It is very, very important. The whole talk that she did, plus the work, a lot of big companies, they value it because we all work so hard. We all, even in our lives, are so busy. So now companies, they have recognized the benefits of what we have just done. So they pay so much money to send their people away to debrief every day to do this what we've done here. So thank you very much, Sister Naze. Another round of applause. Thank you. Sister Adwado, as I said earlier on, if you have any questions, please post them.
It's not a question, it's not something Sister Naze said when she said she asked, how are you? And I find that even sometimes when the person responds that I'm fine, the other person who actually knows you sometimes knows that you are not fine, and then they ask, and then they say to you, you are not your normal self. You are not your normal self. What has happened? And it happened to me recently when I got a packet ticket, and it threw me off completely because I couldn't understand it. I think I shared it with Sister Mori. And somebody was speaking to me on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, something's wrong. And then when I said it, I was like, oh, okay, how did you? He said, you're just completely off. So sometimes maybe it could be allowed as well to go further if you know the person to say something is wrong. But some people don't feel comfortable speaking. Or if they are familiar with the person, they may go deep and then open up. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good one as well. So when it comes to emotional well-being, we all have responsibility. It's not just on one person. It's not the person that is feeling it, the person that is observing as well. We go a long way. When, I don't know, if you have been in a very low emotional state, you will understand that the world means nothing to you at that state. And then you become so vulnerable in terms of the decision you take. Sometimes some people say they are fine, and even when you try to ask further, they say, no, I don't want to talk about it. We recognize it. What we usually say is this: we don't want to talk, you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. But remember, we are here to listen. Very, very important. Then, don't leave the person alone. Test them again. I know you say you don't want to talk about this thing. It might look as if I'm bothering you, but just remember I'm still here. Just to let you know I'm still here. As adults, we should try to be deliberate about our emotional well-being. We have to make that deliberate attempt to take care of our well-being. Because if we're not deliberate about it, the hustling and bustling of the life, the difficulties of life, the circumstances around you, be it from family, be it from work, be it from even fellow brethren, a lot of stuff will put you off. And then you will fall into that isolation state. And that is the state we try to avoid when it comes to emotional well-being. That state where, especially with young people, you know what, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. That state is a dangerous state. And we try to avoid getting to that state. And that is why at this point in time is just the positives. Point out their positives to them. It might appear that they are not taking it in, but they will go and ponder. And because of that one positive thing, they might have a reason to keep fighting. So it goes a long way. It's everyone's responsibility. It's like safeguarding. It's everyone's responsibility. Bible said it. It said, let brotherly love continue. It's brotherly love and kindness. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. For me, one thing I want to add here is, other than the emotional issues or the well-being we've talked about, it still boils down to, I want to bring up the physical as well. I'm saying so because some of us, and based on this, what's happening now, everything is now virtual. It becomes difficult for us to make eye contact, to see people and know if they're actually all right. Sister Rumi made a comment just now that she was on the phone and the person said, you didn't sound the way you normally sound. I am going to embarrass Sister Afro. Sister Afro, with all due respect. What happened a few weeks ago, or months now, was from a Friday study meeting that a sister identified that Brother Goega needed help because of what she saw on the screen about his health. And after the whole message, after the Friday study meeting, she said to him, please go to A&E now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And that was something I felt, yes, we look at ourselves and we might not see because we use our cameras and we not, or some of us don't use cameras. But if we can, that might be an opportunity to catch somebody quickly to say, sister, brother, you don't look well, you don't look all right. I saw you on camera. And you call the person quickly to say, I think you might, I saw that you didn't look well during the study meeting. I just felt I should call you. So, in as much as we're talking to somebody, and the same way we greet each other, hey, Jehovah in Christ, how you do? We're just going away without looking. So let us pay attention and actually look at, sister, how are you? Brother, how are you? It's not just greeting and walking away. The way you did, you don't sound well. Recently, I know I have been in a bad mood because I have been bereaved, and people kept saying to me, something all right. And it's because they know how I am normally. So what I want to say is the importance of looking at somebody in their face to say, hail Jehovah and Jesus Christ, good morning, and actually getting that positive feedback. And if it's not positive and you're finding that it's negative, go a step further to ask, what is it that you're going through? Is it something that we can help? You don't look right, so that we can be there for one another. Sisters, what do?
I'm the cameraman. I don't want to say anything, but everything everybody has said is true. It's not making up story. I don't know, some of you know that my daughter, she's a counselor. And I have this issue with her all the time. She counsels a lot of people. She deals with children. First of all, started with teenagers because she said, we parents, we don't know how to look after her. We don't know how to deal with teenagers. From teenagers, now she's moved to family. That she's even counseling husband and wife and children and whatever. The issue I have with my daughter is, because she's a counselor, when I called her, hello, how are you? How's my granddaughter? And then I'll start talking about my granddaughter. Until the day she explodes. Mom, is it only your granddaughter you have? What about me? I've had a terrible day. I've had these counselors. She went on and I was like, oh, that's true, you know. And she said, Mom, you've forgotten the kind of job I do. I have like back to back. Because now she was working in a school, now she has her own business, so she has people that she does at home, that sometimes my granddaughter is on her own in her bedroom while she's doing counseling, and some of them could be a lot of like, and she's expecting her mom to say, how did you go with your session? Because sometimes you say, Mom, I have this person that is coming in now, I don't know how I'm going to react. And instead of me to say, Chisom, how did you go with this? I'm like, So Ayana was by herself. No, it is funny now, but I'm laughing, but not until she said it, that was when I realized that she also needs help. She's getting, counseling everybody with their situations and their help, and she has a mom that is not even asking her how she feels, instead she's thinking about her granddaughter. But it is because that's the way I've been doing things, not thinking that she also needs that help. So now, after we had, it's been long now I have time for Chisom separately, and I have time for my granddaughter. So if I'm asking questions for her, I don't discuss about my granddaughter, because she really picked an offense.
Of course, yeah.
That you are discussing every time your granddaughter, what about me? So sometimes I just give her that time, and then now that she knows that she can come to me, she will call me and say, Mom, I just need to talk. I don't want you to say anything. Just listen. And I said, okay. And she goes and goes and goes. And then before you know, she said, I feel okay now. So with what Sister Adaze said, it's true, because I experienced it with my daughter. And now I know how to deal with her and how to actually communicate with her. So if my daughter says, Mom, I need to speak to you, the first thing she will say to me, I don't want you to reply, I just want you to listen.
Of course.
In other words, she just wants to offload.
Of course.
Also, she has a counselor as well that after all this, she also goes and sees somebody. So that's what they do. So thank you. That's just
it's a very difficult rule, isn't it?
So
Sisters, action.
Sisters, action. Sisters,
grace.
Sisters, motto.
Faith, hope, and charity.
Thank you, sisters.
So right now, the first segment of this Sisters Day 2025 here in United Kingdom has just ended. And as you can see, sisters are having their lunch. Not really lunch, a snack, a quick snack. What are you eating, my dear sister?
I'm eating milk pie and meat pie, serious sandwich and
Hot dog. Okay, sausage. Yeah.
we are having fun.
We're having fun. We thank God. Sister Eunice. Of course, so they are. How have you seen it today? So far, we are just having our snack.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Beautiful so far.
So far, beautiful. We thank God. Thank God for everything. Thank God for now. And after now, we will go to the hall again for the panel session. My sister. Okay. Yes, your voice. I remember. Sister Joy, okay there. All right, so let's say something. Sisters Day 2025. Vice Chairperson, GKS Women Fellowship, United Kingdom. Sister Joy Ofide. Sisters Day 2025. How have you seen it so far?
First, I rise to thank God Almighty and His Son Jesus Christ for making it possible for us to gather together here once again. It's been wonderful. In fact, words are not enough to express it. Yeah, we might not be too many, but what we've had so far has been so wonderful. I'm privileged that I'm able to make it here today, and I'm sure my other sisters are very privileged. Also, I want to reach out to our sisters. When we're going to do it again, please
put it on your calendar.
Put it in your calendar. It's only once a year. Let us try. This is whereby the GKS women will showcase. Sisters Day will showcase it. Because a lot of time they believe we are not allowed to preach. Yes, the GKS women, and with the Bible standard, we believe as of faith, women are not allowed to preach in the congregation of men and women. But that does not mean we cannot preach. Here we are today, we are preaching to ourselves. Like the Bible said in that book of Titus, that the elderly women should encourage the younger ones to be chaste, to maintain their good home, to stay in their marriage and other things. And also, that is why one of the reasons why we are here. We can preach, we can express ourselves. The GKS women are privileged women. They are women of God. They are women of timber and caliber.
By the
They are
grace of
women
God.
of wisdom. We have professors among us. We have lecturers. We have teachers. Name the professions, we have it. And
By the
I'll
grace
say
of God.
it is indeed a privilege to be here today, to be part of this gathering.
Thank you very much. And tomorrow, the preaching. They will see you tomorrow by the grace of
Absolutely.
God. We have a very important topic tomorrow, integrity.
Yes.
So make sure you tune in and watch the women, the elders in the church, the women leaders, lecture you on integrity tomorrow by the grace of God. Day 2 of Sisters Day 2025.
Ó máa níyàn, ó ṣe ó Jésù, Ọlọ́run wa yọ̀ wá. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, a ó máa níyàn, bàbá gbọ́ pé ta mú wá fún wọn. Ó ṣeun bèmí balẹ̀ ẹgbẹ̀rún ahọ́n. Ó ṣeun fún ní Olùgbàlà. Ó ṣeun gbogbo Ọlọ́run ọba mi. Ó ṣeun ìṣẹ́gun oore rẹ̀. Ó ṣeun ó ṣe ó Jésù, a ó máa yíyan. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, Ọlọ́run ayọ̀ wa. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, a ó máa yíyan. Bàbá gbọ́ pé ta mú wá fún ọ. Ó ṣeun ọba mi àtọlọ́run mi. Ó ṣeun obìnrin rọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. Ó ṣeun ìrìn ká gbogbo ayé. Ó ṣeun ọ̀la orúkọ rẹ̀. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, a ó máa yíyan. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, Ọlọ́run ayọ̀ wa. Ó ṣe ó Jésù, a ó.
Mr. Connie, Secretary of Women Fellowship, United Kingdom branch. Why this gathering? Why is it important? Why are we here?
Well, first of all, I want to rise to give thanks to Jehovah, the Almighty God, and His Son Jesus Christ for making it possible for us all to be gathered here today. It is indeed very good, and how lovely it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, and of course sisters to come together to learn together. So today is a day that is not so much focused on exhortation. We will be doing that tomorrow
By God's grace.
So the reason for the Sisters Day is for us as sisters to come here without our brothers here, to kind of socialize with each other, talk about our well-being, our emotional health, the way to relate with each other, and also learn. This afternoon we'll be learning how to make akamu.
By the grace of God. Who is doing the akamu? Sister Lucky.
Last year
All
we
eyes
learned-
on you.
Yes, last year we learned how to make meat pie, and that went down very well. So today we'll be learning how to make akamu from the scratch, from the corn.
In
to
fact,
when it
some of us
becomes
came with our bucket to carry akamu home. Because akamu is essential commodity here.
It is.
Yes.
It is. So that is why today is a very important day. And as Sister Joy has said, this is our own thing. We'll try to make it better and better. As the Bible says, that the knowledge and everything will increase in this last day. And the path of the just, it shineth more and more
Unto the perfect day.
So this will continue to improve and increase
By God's grace. By God's grace. Because of the increase of His government and peace, there shall be no end. Thank you very much.
Kristi, ọba ìlú.
as we can see, sisters are now coming back in.
Yes.
After the break, Mama Ray, how have you seen today?
Thank you, my sister.
Yes, we are coming back in, even the younger ones. They are here with us, growing in the Lord, coming back in for the second session by the grace and power of God Almighty. Yeah, my dear sister, we're getting ready for the second session. How have you seen it so far?
Thank you. Nice.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's my husband.
Okay, easy. Okay.
See.
Okay, that's good. Good. Welcome back to the second session of the second segment of this Sisters Day 2025. Getting ready for the panel session by the grace and power of God. Our Mama is also here with us. Mama, we thank God. Yeah. And Sister Lucky, we are waiting for your session, the Akamuanogi session, by the grace of God.
Yes, so
yes, you're ready. We thank God. We thank God.
Sisters Wado.
Action.
Sisters
are great.
Sisters Moto.
Faith, hope, and charity.
Thank you, sisters. So we move on to the next item on our program today. And this is a Q&A session. As we all know, it's been captured life in the UK as a GKS woman. When we say a GKS woman, it covers a lot. We know GKS is a Christian organization. So we mean life in the United Kingdom as a GKS, a Christian woman. But Christian here is broad, very broad, because there are many Christians in the world. But we are peculiar people. We are peculiar Christians. The Church of the Living God. Some people that call themselves Christians, we don't know what they're serving. Some of them don't even know what they're serving. But we in the GKS, we know that we are serving the living God. So life in the United Kingdom, as a Christian, a GKS woman, peculiar woman that serves God. So on this panel today, and I will ask for those online,
please, 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 we want you to take part in this. Because I know some of you that are in Manchester, Nottingham, Birmingham, and Sunderland. Some of you that are hooked up online are relatively new in the UK. Unlike a lot of us here in the hall, some of us have been here for a very long time. It is still challenging, but please, if you do have any questions, please put it online and we will talk about it. So I would like to introduce the panel that will help us with dissecting the questions that will come up. So leading the panel today is the Assistant Secretary of the GKS Women Fellowship, United Kingdom and Ireland, Sister Maureen Ojeba, and of course a member of the National Sisters, Nigeria and abroad, Sister Maureen Ojeba. She will be helped today by our dear sister, our own Sister Rianne Oje, one of us and a very learned and important member of the
Mama
yeah. Also on the panel today is my dear beloved Juju, Sister Jumoke Ogowe. Thank you. So I will hand over the mic to Sister Maureen and her panel to pilot the affair. Thank you, sisters.
And we should try to equip ourselves with so many answers, because our children will ask us a lot of questions, especially the younger ones. They know so much, and when you are able to answer them, they happy when you give them the right answer. So for now, I'm going to see them. If anybody have any question they want to ask us, we'll try our best to answer the questions. Thank you.
Angle that is slightly different from Sister Maureen, given that I know she did mention when they came in, they had to navigate their immigration status route. I think our route is similar to the current JAPA system, which means we came legally, my husband came as a student. But one thing that resonates with me was the fact that if I was born, I was born into a Muslim family, I'll start from there, and then eventually got married into a Christian one. And I think the very first thing I learned in the Bible and still stick to me today is Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 31, where it talks about the woman who fears God.
Virtuous woman.
It tells us a lot about what it is to be a wife, a mother, and a carer generally as a woman, what we need to do. And one thing I've picked from there, even why in Nigeria, was that I'm a supporter to my husband, but I also need to work hard to bring to the table. So I came with that mindset to the UK, and then what it does is it already prepared me that I have to get going. Coming in as a student means the student, the person who is the main student, can only work 20 hours, while the dependent is the one who is able to work more hours. And yeah, we came with some money for school fees and all of that, but given the conversion rate and everything, the money went down quickly. And what it means is that brothers asked to go to school, there wasn't enough time for him to even work more than the 20 hours. I have to fill in the gap. Yeah, without questioning how much I work, that is another thing. That Proverbs 31, verses 10 to 31, what it says is like a template for every woman. Irrespective of the geographical location we have, if we take that as our template, I think it will help us to be able to navigate even when we come from wherever in the world, and then we are in the UK. Because I was already able to think, okay, even if I was bringing more in at that point, money-wise to the table, I still see him as the head. I still see that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a faithful woman. And then I was, so it's sort of broadening and strengthening our communication, like Sister Morena said, which means I'm calm. I was able to maintain my calmness, support the family, and avoid any form of argument or quarrel that could come up, as we've seen a lot on Facebook or wherever now. With the JAPA system, we see a lot of families coming in and breaking up so quickly. These are families that are united before they come. So it is important that Proverbs, as Christian woman, that bit of the Bible, and I know there are other examples in the Bible, but if we have a template in the Bible that we are there to receive to, even when things seems very difficult, I still then go back and think. It doesn't matter, I am just going to forge ahead. And another thing is that we need to remain focused as women. Very, very focused. Yeah? We come in, we do all sorts of manual job to be able to put money on the table. But again, it is important that as we look after the husband, look after the kids, we also think of ourselves. We also need to grow. We need to develop ourselves. It's important. Yeah? And I think communicating, and I would say my husband has really helped me in that area as well. Because at a point, because I was able to, actually, one of my first job here was as a chef. Not a chef, sous chef, no? Assistant. Yeah. You know, when you work in the kitchen assistant. Yeah. And because I was seen as a dedicated person, quickly, somehow I became a sous chef within 1 year. Somehow, Queen Mary Hospital, I remember very well, then created maternity section catering, saying that people who came to have children are not sick, so they should eat well. So quickly they moved me to be the chef in that maternity ward. And I was there, I was like, The empress came and said, I did not marry. Don't get me wrong, being a chef is a profession. Some people do it as a profession and they do it well. But of course, he signed up to something. And then he used to work in Queen Mary's as well then. So he spoke to one of his patients, and then they quickly brought me back into my accounting line to say, no, you need to start your ACCA now. Don't forget it. Yep. So what that means is that as we struggle, as we grow, we should remember that we are coming from somewhere. We shouldn't forget whatever professional, being a chef. If you want to be a cleaner, you can open up a company at some point. Do it to your best. That is the way you can provide the best support to your family. And then, of course, irrespective, whatever so kind of work I do, the time it requires, I always make sure that I create that time to be able to be there for my children. We came with money. Money was only one when we came. So it's been 20 years plus, which means, bros will say, I don't care the job you do, but make sure that job can pay nanny. You know, like, you can't just give. I don't know, some of you already know this. I don't keep my children to say, help me look up. No. I pay for the service throughout. It's important that we think about all of this. I know there is a lot of struggle, but again, communicating with your spouse, with your children as they grow, will help us all to get there. And I think for now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think my journey has been completely different than yours. Well,
that's the whole idea.
That's the idea.
I think it's an interesting one to mention because I think especially when we look at our children, there might be more people from different backgrounds coming into the church. So I'm originally born and bred in the Netherlands, and I came here almost 25 years ago as well, something like that, to study. So I grew up in a very liberal household. Very kind of like make your own mistakes, do your own thing. My mom raised me like, to be a strong, independent woman. Don't be dependent on anybody basically. So that was kind of the mindset I had when I came here and I came to study. And I was very, very ambitious. And I still am, but I'll come to that in a minute. I was probably in the UK for about 4 months when I met my husband. And it took us about 6 months before we kind of started courting each other, and I was interested. But I was very much of the mindset like, I don't need anybody, I have my career path, this is what I'm going to do. once we started sort of getting to know each other, it was another few years before I started coming to church, something changed. And I think that's very, very important to mention, because the way I see it is commitment. You don't just do it half-hearted. And I think, like Jumika said, is that learn what you're supposed to do as a woman, but don't put yourself down. I think what they say, what the Bible says is a good wife or a good woman is like more precious than rubies or something like that. My husband has always supported me throughout in all my crazy career moves, in all my kind of education, whatever I wanted to do. But similar to what we've heard from our two sisters before, is my husband's the head of the house, and I've always respected that. Yes, he supports me. If I need to travel, as everybody knows, I travel a lot for work. He will help look after the children with my mum. You know, he's never stopped me from doing anything, but he always questions like, what do you think? What do you want to do? What is good? I think the biggest change, I would say, for me personally, is going from like, oh, I don't need anybody, you know, my husband can't tell me what to do, to realizing that actually you're a team. You're not supposed to fight each other. Yes, you need each other, you're a team, and together you're much, much stronger to get where you want. And that's kind of what I took away from that, and that's the example I want to give to my children as well. I've got two girls. I wanted to see that, yes, mum works, mum's ambitious, mum's doing really well in life. However, I have respect at home, I look after them, I cook, I still do all the things that a wife is supposed to be doing. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But I want to set a good example for them so that they can follow their dreams, but in a Christian manner. And that's what I'll leave it to them as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions, sisters?
Let me ask a question, please, my assistant.
My question is based on the children. As someone who engages with young people, what I face with majority of people with different ethnic background from here is quite huge. And I've noticed what we call love from back home is seen as an abuse here. Many of the young people that I support that are from different ethnic background from here, particularly Asian and African, they have huge safeguarding concern always, because they think their home is not like the home of others in terms of what people are allowed to do and what people are not allowed to do. I find myself in a situation where deep down in me, I understand and I know that this is culture and it's our own definition of love. Also deep down in me, I know I've got a duty of care to also report anything that is safeguarding. So my question now is this. A lot of us growing up, bringing up children here in the United Kingdom, from my experience, a lot of children today are struggling with their mental health. And when they tell you the reason why they are struggling, these are things that we saw and we took as love. So, how can you advise, being someone in this background, who's lived also in the UK, and you've brought up children in the UK, how can you advise us, especially those ones that just come in, a lot of them online listening to us, what is the best way to strike that balance? Because when I have time to speak to parents from our background, I try to explain to them that this place is not Nigeria. We have to meet them in the middle. Even me, what I am accepting now from my kids, sometimes I ask myself, and I say, now you allow this thing. But we don't have the choice. If we see them going somewhere because they are redefining our love, it took me time to come to this point. So I want us to quickly to talk on this, because a lot of us, especially those ones that just came in through this visa stuff, they will be going through a lot. A lot, because I know what I see with children in school. Some finish school, they don't want to go home. They go to safeguarding, saying because they got a negative point, their dad is going to do this, their dad is going to do that, mom is going to do this, mom is going to do that. But I said, but when you got the positive point, what did they do? Is it not because you got that negative point, but at the end, I am, so that they don't add me to them. I have to be very, very careful. So we need, I think, us, the people, everybody watching, all women, because this is going to go on YouTube. Women, black origin, Asian origin that are here. What advice can you give to them in order for them to meet these kids at the middle ground? We are not throwing away our culture, but they need to meet at the middle ground. Please, thank you.
Thank you, Sister Jose. That is a very important one. Bringing up children in this part of the world, especially like me that brought my children from Nigeria. It wasn't easy. Like as I said, communication is the main. We let them know, me and my husband, that we don't know the culture yet. Whatever we tell them is what we know and we think is good for them. But if they think it's not good, they should tell us. Like Agogo, my middle daughter, she was the one that wanted to give us son. She told me straight, it's how I'm a middle child. When Desiree was born, girl, Voke came, boy. He said, when I was born, nothing happened. He said, Mommy, we did it psychology. I have a middle child syndrome.
That's what some of them.
So I like to do things for people to notice me. Because I'm not noticed yet. I said, of course you are noticed.
Someone has told me that.
You can say that. So, it still comes back to communication. One teacher in my children's school when we just came, Mrs. Britton, said, Igbo lady married to a white man. She said, this place is not easy to bring up children, but I will encourage you to make sure you communicate with your children. Make sure they are well dressed all the time. That is the time when they pick on children to see how they make sure they don't come to school with scruffy, dry face. That time we walk at once I does night, I does day. I leave home to go, he gets them ready. You see me, that time no phone call. Once you leave home, you've left. It's when I come, I'll say, Andy, you know, please, we'll talk about it. So, it's still communication and let the children know that whatever you're telling them, that is what you know now. And that is what the way you were brought up. And I'm sure they can see that you didn't come out too bad. There is no end in learning. Our focus at that time is to bring up the children. All what our concern, how we're going to move from stage to stage. Now, we look at ourselves. Nobody to talk to now. But that time, you say, oh, these children, can't wait for them to grow up. Now, me and Ojoy, I have not seen Ojoy for 2 days. I saw her this morning, say, but you know I'm here. I say, yes. So, we should still explain to them certain decisions we're taking. Even though other people are not doing what other people are not doing what we are doing. That is what we know. It will come to a time, like as I was telling them, it will come to a time when you will be making this decision on your own. I'm not going to follow you to your houses. You will be doing things on your own. That time you will be phoning me, Mommy, this thing. They refer back. Even now that they don't come to service. There is no Sunday that one of them will not phone to say, Mommy, I was service today. Was Stakoni there? If I say Stakoni, oh, Why is she not there today? I say, you know, they move very far. Is this there? Is this there?
Come and see yourself.
Yeah, they will be asking. I tell this question you're asking, he said, no, you think, we know what is happening. They know what is happening.
Know the loss.
We should keep on telling them. They will challenge you. If you cannot give the answer at that particular moment, tell them I will come back to you. Like one trick my husband used on them. If you don't want to tell me the truth, tell me you don't want to talk. And I will not ask you. That time they always say, oh, Jerry has wrapped you around your finger. Every time Jerry said, I don't want to talk. And he was okay. And because of that, she won't tell any lie. It's okay. You don't want to talk? Go. We should not force them to explain. If they are not ready to talk, just leave them. They will never hate you. We can never buy our children's love with anything. They are our children, we are their parents. And when we do things and they see what we do, I always hold the advice my mom gave to me, that you are the only one. There is no one like you. There is no two people on this earth. People can do things if you can have that at the back of your mind, that everybody is an individual. You will know that when anything happens, it will not bother you. Our children will not take our character. If that is what we're trying to imbibe in them, it's not going to work. We'll allow them to create their paths while we are giving them advice and how to navigate it. You always tell them, I'm here. If you want to talk, come and talk to me. The world is not an easy place now. I always say it, I feel for people that have young children now. It's not an easy place to bring up children. But we should continue to pray and communicate with the children.
Yes, just a quick one. I wanted to talk on this, but I ran out of time. Sister Murray brought it up. It's this comparing stuff, comparing yourself with others, comparing this, comparing that. It's detrimental to your emotional well-being. Everyone is unique in their own different ways. So whatever anyone is achieving in life, whatever any other person's child is achieving in life, your own turn will come. And when your time comes, you will shine. Timing for everything. When God's time comes for this, let's just refrain from comparing ourselves with others or comparing our children with others. It is detrimental to our emotional well-being. You can never be happy if you do that. Thank you.
Sisters Wado, I'm mindful of time, but we're enjoying the session. So I want us to, what the plan now is that, let me just read that for you. We will.
It all dwells down to communication. Be open with these children. Don't live a false life, so that they don't start to think. What did she just say? This. Be open and let them know that what you are telling them is what you know. You don't know more than this. By God's grace, we will put it in prayer as we GKS member. It's not an easy journey to bring up children in this part of the world. Or talk less of this time now that life has changed. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. I think aside from us knowing that every child is an individual, I think perhaps I've learned in a difficult way. I used to go like all the way cultural, like with my kids.
Just like me.
And I find out that why that template work with one, it's not particularly working with the rest.
Of course.
So previously, I laugh at people when they reading all these books about parenting, and laugh and think, what we do, or when somebody tell me I'm a child counselor, in my mind, I'm really good job, you know. And then back home, where we come from in Nigeria, there are certain courses you do, and people think, what's she going to do with that?
Yes.
But in this country, I tell you, all those courses matters. They do matters a lot. And for me now, why I try not to discard the cultural bit, I also will read a lot of parenting books. I will watch parenting programs so that I'm sort of applying a blend of both. And that is working for us. Like I said, I try to go 100% culturally, and I will say to those people that are new in the country, it doesn't work in. It did work partially for me. But currently, I can't do nothing without the blend of the two.
Of course. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think there's two things I really want to add to that. So the first one, I think, even though don't go fully culture, it's okay to have boundaries. And I think those boundaries are important, and you have to be consistent.
Very important.
I think where, as parents, and I include myself in that, sometimes we have ambitions for our children because we want them to do well, we want them to exceed past our own successes. I think a lot of the church members that have come to this country, they're obviously really trying to do the best for their children. What I think is, what they need to understand is that what has been said, every child is different. You know, don't praise the grades, praise the effort. That's my philosophy at home, is that as long as you put in your best, it's fine. The destination is the same. Some people go there in straight lines, some people take a lot of detours. I think it's important as well to sometimes understand maybe there's something that these children need in terms of extra support, and it's important for them, for parents to understand that. I can speak from my own experience. Obviously, Chukuma, you know, since he was born, he's high flyer, good at everything kind of going easy, when we've had obviously difficult times as well with him. So when, you know, Laura came along, I was like, that's the way I parent. Like, I'm doing good. I have the hang of this is going great. Until it doesn't. And that's when you need to learn that, you know, maybe there's other things at play. Broaden your minds. That somebody might not think the way you think. And how can you best support them? How can they thrive? Like I said, Chukuma probably goes straight down the road, you know, find his destination as fast as he can. Laura might need a few kind of detours or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because what matters is the end of the road. And as a parent, we should support them no matter what. And I think that is what is important, is understanding your child. And I think the third one, which I struggle with a lot, is as parents, we're so busy trying to make the life of our children better. We work so many hours, we cook, we clean, we have so many things going on, that sometimes if you think they misbehave, maybe it's a cry for they want attention, they want some time with you. Stop what you're doing. Does it really matter that the washing is not folded? Does it really matter the kitchen is not spotless? Sit down with your child and spend some time, and you will find that might be the first kind of step towards a more communicated relationship and an understanding relationship with each other.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just said about stop, because a lot of us were too eager to just keep walking. Now we need to buy that, do that. And when you said it, what just came to my mind is, I remember Tarila and Uzezi and Omoife. Omoife came a bit later, but Tarila and Uzezi are like this, very close, me and them, as you all know. And there's something that we always do. That's why I'm fat. For many years, me and Tarila, and then when Omefe came along, we did that every Saturday. Somebody knows. Every evening we watch programs together. We have programs, EastEnders, we can tell you about EastEnders from whenever. Housewife, till tomorrow, we all sit down together to watch it. And every Saturday we'll have a cake and custard evening. All of us, every day, every Saturday we are sat together. And I'm asking them, what's going on? They'll ask me what's going on. So me and them will talk, you know. So there is nothing today about me that they don't know.
Very important. And there's nothing about them that I don't know. And that is very important. It's very important that when we are raising our children here, that they are not strangers to us. Because when they become strangers, that's when they run into problems. They need to be able to come to you and say, oh my God, Mom, okay, you can't believe what I've just done. I'm like, what have you done now? And they will tell you, and then, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, and you move on. One of my colleagues used to be a teacher. And when we talk about children and all of that, she's a Jamaican woman. She'll tell me, say, honey, you know what? A lot of the children that go bad in this country, in school, that drop out, maybe you'll be able to testify, are children that are brought here from Nigeria, Ghana, where Zimbabwe. They're the ones that end up in gangs more than the ones that are born here.
Because the home is not there for them.
Absolutely. So that's why those that have come in now with their children need to be very careful of all those statistics, that they keep watch of those kind of things. So that's my little input into that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sisters. Sister Rianne, I just want to reiterate what you said. That step back, take a step back. It is very important. And that's something we hardly do. I remember when I was also working in the hospital's 12-hour shift, when I come home, before they had even say hello, Mom. Now wait! I won't even give them the opportunity. I was only saying hello to you. Okay. My teacher said, I don't have money. I've told you I don't have money. So we're not taking that step back. And before we know it, all right. At the time, Brakemi went to school and she came back and she said, oh, my teacher said something, but I told her you don't have money. I said, oh, did I say you don't have money? She said, well, you keep saying you don't have money. I don't even know why you're working if you don't have money. All that thing. But what I want to say is, even if they are old, and this is something she does till tomorrow, she comes to me to say, you haven't given me a cuddle today. I say, even old woman like you, every time cuddle. Let us take that step back and give them the cuddle. They still need us. We still need them. And if you don't keep that good relationship, there are things that we will miss out because it will come across as, don't tell her, she won't bother. Don't tell him, she won't bother. Brakemi is my confidant. She tells me how it is and tells me when I have gone wrong. We call her small madam, house manager. You can't do something wrong in that house that she will not get involved and not get upset if she's not aware of. So in essence, what I'm actually saying is that what Sister Rianne said is, let us not give that opportunity to push them away by saying I'm busy, and we miss out the opportunities of bringing them together and confiding in us and telling us their problems. Because if we don't, they go outside and get the wrong information. As mothers, sisters, even when they come to us here in church, let us not condemn them. The other thing also I would like to add is, we have our children, especially the young brothers, we find out that they know what is outside. They come back, they say, I want to do this. I want to sag my trouser. I want to put my shirt on. I want to pierce my ear. I want to plait my hair. There are ways we can talk about it that would, rather than pushing them away. God forbid, you can't do this in this house. You cannot stay in this house. If you can't say, get out of this house. When they go, they are gone. It's your loss. It's outside people's game. So there are ways we talk about it. When things happen like this, they want to do this. Is that what you like? And will you be able to carry that person and head to church? If you cannot and you think you want to do it the way you like. For me as a mother, it's your decision, but I don't know how. In a way that you're not pushing them completely out, but encouraging them. And I tell you, it will pass. Because it's just that period of, I want to belong.
Of course.
Let them belong and come back. We are in the house. We welcome
We'll wait
you.
for them back.
So I thought I should just add that whatever we're doing, let us just continue to put ourselves together, support our families, our children, our husband, and the church. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, just as a follow-up to what Sister Ebi said, or worship leader. It's just, I know it's difficult, very, very difficult sometimes, but let's realize that every human being, no matter what age they have a voice. And that voice should be respected. I know our culture is difficult, and those of us that were born and bred and buttered in that culture, you look at it and it's difficult for you to do it. You know, sometimes you sit down, a little thing as if your child comes and say, "Mommy, give me something from fridge." Some parents will be like, "What? Am I your mate? Why are you asking me to give you something from fridge?" We used to be like that, but the world is changing, and the society we have. I'm saying this because I know a lot, and most of the students from black background, they are lucky. They even say it, that I am the person supporting them through that. Even though in my mind, I know what they are going through, I still want to ensure their welfare. I know both culture, and I know how to support them towards that. At the end of the day, I will still report it. But when I report it, I might give suggestion. Maybe just allow me to call them on, and I think more needs support, rather than this or rather than that. So they do have a voice. Sometimes, when they bring something to us, let's ask them the question: "You want to plant your hair? Why?" Okay, because this, because if it is because others are doing it, try to bring them up. Because like Sister Ryan said, boundary is very necessary. In as much as we want them to be our friend, we want to listen to them, we must have boundary. Because if you look at the definition of safeguarding, it comes with 5 elements. And one of the elements is this: that child must have a responsible adult to guide them through life in order for them to become a responsible adult. And I keep echoing this to children. I say, you know what? The way your brain works now, in 3-5 years' time, when that brain matures, you will look back and say, "What? Did I really do that?" But now, because your brain is just that way now, you need an adult. And there is a reason why you are not allowed to make certain decisions until you are 18. And because of that, you've got us as your responsible adult. And there are certain things that you don't know now that you think you know, but we are telling you now, we have to guide you through. The Bible says we are responsible. Parents, train up your child in the way of the Lord. The law, safeguarding, says it. A responsible adult must guide you until you are 18. And as such, this is where the boundary comes in. But if you are giving that child voice, instead of jumping into, "No, you're not doing it." No, ask them, "Why do you want to do it?" "Okay, I want to do it because this person said this. Okay, it's because of that person, not because of you." You know what? If you continue to do something because of something, it will affect your self-esteem later on. Let's explain what self-esteem is. I will explain to you. I will explain to you. This is what it is. This is what. If you do it like this, this is the repercussion. "But Mom, it's just hair. But Miss Arubi, I only just plait my hair. What's wrong with my mom?" I'm like, "Okay, you only just plait your hair. To you now, it's only just plait. But there is something. There's something called culture. There's something called norms. Let's take the time to explain this." After explaining it, give them the advantages, give them the disadvantages, and say, "You know what? The choice is yours now. If you choose this, this is what will happen. If you choose that, that is what will happen." You might end up learning in a very, very hard way because you didn't listen, and you go in. When we were growing up, we know a lot about sin of disobedience. But if I say sin of disobedience, they are looking at it. They don't know what sin of disobedience is. But one day you call their attention to it. So it's meeting them at the middle is why that boundary is there. I'm very glad you brought that boundary in. Very, very important. Why that boundary is there, still leave it open. We know we are very strict. No is no. But now it's about communication. I bring Sister Doreen in again. It's about communication. Communicate with them and let them know. Let them tell you why they want it like that. Okay, I want to go and drink alcohol. Some of them, they are drinking it already. If you know what is happening in schools, inside toilet and everything, you will go home and continue to pray. Even year 7, they are vaping already. Year 6, they just come in within 2, they are vaping already. Sometimes I see some good students, they're being lured into vaping. And when I see them, you need to see me, I'm like, Mama, come here, come. Because we can't choose friends for it. Because otherwise, the other person parent will start calling to say, that means that saying my child should not be this. It's against this, you get into trouble. I sit them down, I just tell them, you know what, we cannot choose your friend. But I'm seeing you with certain people. What I just want you to know is this. If somebody tell you to come and do something, are you able to say no? If they say, yes, miss, I'm able to say no, are you sure? If you're struggling to say no, come and talk to us. We will support you. There is mentoring session on how to be firm and stand by your ground. So one thing is this. Let's know that they have voice. Let's give them choices. Let's tell them the advantages and disadvantages. Let's advise them on the best way to go. And depending on their age, which one they choose, go on your knee and begin to pray. Thank you.
To do this. After raising 2 kids and a granddaughter, and my daughter happens to be like Sister Daze, who is a social worker, who is a counselor and everything you can think of. She condemns African way of bringing up children. I have the argument with her every day. Mom, you guys are too harsh. Mom, you guys, everything is negative. Mom, you guys does this. Yes, as we've all said, I don't want to repeat everything that everybody has said. If a child comes and says they want to plait their hair, it's not the end of the world. We should just accept it. It's what they see their friends doing. They feel they don't belong. I've got my granddaughter now. She's giving my daughter tough time. But you know what? She knows how to handle her. And then that when we come, Grandma, look at what my mom said to me. She goes on and my daughter will say, Mom, don't say anything. The way she disciplines her is take her phone from her. Then she will tell her, when my mom wants to discipline me, she smacks me, as at that time. We bring that, is the way we were raised. Mm-hmm. We now come, we're doing it to our children. I have to, at this old age, start apologizing to my daughter because it stays in her head for a very long time that I was smacking her when she was a child. I didn't know it was that bad.
And to us, it's love.
To us, it's love.
Don't spare the rod.
She told me one day, Mom, you never allow me to go, what do they call it? Sleepover. Mom, you never allow me to go sleepover. I went through my childhood without one sleepover. And I said to her, I did what was best. As at the time I was raising you guys up, I don't know the person you are going to sleep over. Exactly. Why would I want to allow you to go and sleep in somebody's house? Who she's telling me the mother is 35, and the daughter is 15, and she has had a grandchild.
Yeah, they're like that.
The person she wants to go and sleep, the mother is 35 and she has a grandchild. And she said I should allow her. I said, no, sorry, you're not going anywhere. But as at then, that's the way we were brought up. We will not allow our children to do. So my advice to the people that have come, yes, our children, they're happy that they've left a difficult situation and they've come to an environment. We should be careful the way we caution them. They will come home and tell you what they want to do because of things they've seen outside. We now have to sit down, as everybody has said, and communicate with them, explain to them that the culture here is different from the culture where we come back. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when they are old, they cannot depart from it. My same daughter that is telling me I was harsh, same daughter told me, Mom, if not the discipline you gave to me,
Exactly.
I won't be able to bring up my daughter.
Exactly.
And if that's her mother, second mother here, my daughter, we are cat and dog, but she loves me and I love her the way we do. Because it's like, as you said, I tell her everything, and she tells me everything. So when she's angry, Mom, you've done this, Mom, you've done that, I say, yes, I did this because of this. So at my old age, I have to apologize. This is why I did what I did. I didn't know you were still hanging to it up till now. So please forgive me and let's move on. Because she's like, oh, you didn't allow me to enjoy my childhood. Yeah, at adulthood, she's telling me you didn't allow me to enjoy my childhood. What did I do? Because I didn't allow her to go to school.
Yeah.
So please, we are talking to those who come in. I mean, some of you here, you've been, been for a long time. We should nurture our children. The most important thing when they go to school and come back, sit with them, ask them how their day goes. Especially the young ones. Who is your friend? I go Ayana, you could know Ayana, she was coming like this one, now Ayana is this. Every day she has big friend. Oh, I got my best friend. This one she'll call. How many best friends do you have? Every day she has one new best friend. Again, it's for you to now find out who are these best friends, who are these people they are hanging out with. Because you don't know these are the people. As you said, Ayana is telling me somebody on their age, they are having take-on. They are on the bus going, and this child that is between her and her class, smoking. And then she asks her, why are you doing that? He said, oh, because they asked me to. You don't have to belong. Ayana is now telling her, you don't have to belong. Can you imagine? It's the upbringing she has.
Of
That's
course.
why she can tell this person,
It
you don't have
sticks
to
in.
do that. Or they will be fighting, and they are videoing their...
They do video and put it
their
on.
mates. And they come and start playing and
Even though it's not allowed. They get in trouble when caught.
No, don't get involved with them. But these are the things our children are doing that we don't know about. So if we don't come back with them and sit down and say, how did your day go? Just as Sister Adaze was saying, asking somebody, how are you? We should ask our children, how was your day? I have to learn in the habit. I've told you guys. My daughter and I have to call her like once a week to say, how is your week? It goes a long way. Maybe because we are not in the same house. When we are in the same house, we had that communication. But now that we are not, I still call her. Sometimes we could be on the phone for 2 hours. She's telling me the whole of her week. Same with our children. We should have that one-to-one time. And different children, different time. Don't join them together because they're all different. You could have 3 or 4 boys, or 2 girls, 1 boy. Don't put them together because one person might not want to say what they feel like with the other person. But if we all have time, different days, and say, oh, maybe Monday, you can even have the same day, but different time. We'll find that we'll go a long way. The learning that they had from Nigeria when they got here, they will not forget it. They will not. Especially the ones when they know how to recite who is Jehovah, who is Jesus Christ, and it's there. That's the way they were brought up. That's why it stays with them. So if we've taught our children what is good and bad, even when they go out there and they see people doing things, they might joke, they might laugh, but when they go out, they know that is wrong. And that's why we as parents have to make sure we are there for them.
Thank you.
I'm not be like the way this our country is. The way this our country is now is far, far different.
Different.
That time. And at that time, our children, my husband first come before me. I joined him. Year 1960. Then I was looking for a job. Job is easy to get. One of our members once said, okay, see where I'm working. would like you to come and join me. That's okay. True, I joined her. As that time, I take in, then that woman that I was working with, she thought she had no issue with children at all. So she come ask me one day, "Man," I said yes. They said, "So when I tell you, good night, have a good night, enjoy yourself with your husband, so you go and pregnant." Why you have been telling me like that? I am Mrs. So in Africa, we don't marry to enjoy ourselves. We marry to have children. So she said, "Is that so?" I said, from then, she was just giving me different
attitude.
Of things to do, whether I will not. I said, okay, since you said, that's how we let us play the game together. When she do me like this, I look at her. So after some time, we became a friend. And when I born my first child, she said, "When you have a baby, can you allow me to come and see your baby?" I said, "Don't worry, I will tell you." So when I had the baby, I didn't even tell her. Then, when they don't discharge me from the hospital, I really call her. I said, "Mrs. Bishop." She said, "Yes, my African lady. How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. I've already put to bed." She said, "What did you have?" I said, "A baby boy." "Oh, I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you." I said, but now, sir, to cut everything short, if you really look the way they are doing things now, there's a big difference in this country. So the only thing, we know what to bring us back home, so we have to get whatever we see. And come to the matter of the way we're bringing up our children, it's very, very necessary. For the first time, I tackle with them to speak my language. They said, "I'm not an African." I said, "You're an African, right? You're an African. You're only British by birth, but by right, you're an African." I said, "Oh, this is true." I said, "It is it." That is how I do with them. Some of them speaking in proper language. I said, because my mother is not an educated. So when you get back home, who is going to be your tapita? I'm not an educated, so I can't be your tapita. So, true. With our Nigeria food, we give them, they eat everything. So, true. That is why you say, OJ can speak different language. Can speak Benin, can speak the only language when I haven't heard from him is Igbo language. So it is true. The way we bring our children,
different.
That's the way
They will go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Thank you. I don't hear that. Go and local house, go enjoy with
And start again. Okay. I just want to make one point. Then I will ask question for them to take round up. The point I want to make is this: why we are here talking about how to bring up children, how to meet them in the middle, how to do this and how to do that. We also need to recognize that there are parents that do all these, yet these children are still not who they are supposed to be. And to those parents, just know that it's not your fault. That Sister A children are doing well does not mean that you are a bad parent. Whatever effort you're putting in, keep putting in and continue to pray. Because at the end, everything comes from God. When it is God's time to touch the life of that child, everything that you have told that child will never go. It will not lost. It is what they will use to build up themselves. So if our children are not where we want them to be, do not blame yourself. Continue doing what you're doing. That is just the point I want to make. Because it's not all rosy for everyone, despite the efforts that they try to put in. But we will continue to pray. Because we want them where we want them to be. And that prayer will never go unanswered. In God's time, He will answer that prayer, and all those our children will come out exactly as God wants them to be, as we have trained them to be. So we'll continue to pray. The last thing I just want to say is for them to maybe use it to round up. If a child comes to you and says, so because your father brought you up like this and your mom brought you up like this, you want to bring me up like that as well. Why? What will you say to them? That's me done. Thank you.
Because that's a very interesting question for my children. The way I train them is like, I don't see either of our cultures superior. What I teach them is to take the best and the most positive bits from each of the cultures that you think and create your own sort of like super culture, I guess. And that's, I think that's really important. But there's just one more point I would like to make as well. And I think a lot has been said, but I think most importantly, you have to be an example for your children. So if you tell them not to do something, don't do it. Don't do it. If you don't like your children involved in friend drama, don't create drama at home, start gossiping on the phone.
Exactly. They are, yeah. That's a very good one, yeah.
You know, a very relatable one is the mobile phones everybody keeps referring to. We ourselves are the worst offenders of that as parents. Put our phone down. That will create that example. I know, you know, what I say, it's kind of a perfect picture. You know, I struggle with certain things as well, but ultimately we are an example to our children, and keep that in mind, and just focus on them, you know, and keep praying and keep the faith, and then it will, like you said, it will end.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sister. Yeah. Thank you.
Sister Afro Obafemi, because Sister Afro Obafemi is also a sister among us who comes from a culture that is family orientated. The Greek family values the family a lot, and she has been among us for a very long time. So how has she navigated mixing these two families?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, I have been around for a very long time because I met the chairman in 1985. We've been married 38 years. And we have Thomas and Samuel, who's 37 and 34. My background, I was born in Coventry. My parents were refugees. My mum was Greek. My father was from Yugoslavia. They came here after the Second World War. So that was very difficult for them with the language barriers and all the rest, but they made a life together. Unfortunately, my dad died in 1970. I was 5. And then so it was very difficult for Mum. She single parent. There wasn't a lot of support. There wasn't all of the benefits that, you know, I'm not saying it's easy now, but back then it was even harder for her because she was a foreigner in the UK, didn't know the language very well. So, but you know, she raised myself and my brother, who's 5 years older than me, the best that she could. And yeah, we didn't have a lot of money, we were quite poor, but we just made the best of it, and we did. My brother ended up getting a scholarship. He went to grammar school and university. I went to secondary school. I didn't have all of those. Yeah, you know. So whatever, I made the best of it anyway.
That's the most important thing.
Then I met the chairman. I had a job. I was working full time. He was working as a student because he was at uni at South Bank. And that was in 1985, and then we started going out together, And then I was introduced, actually it was President Otomawa, I actually met him before we married, and he gave his blessing, which was really good, and Sister Otubo was around at that time as well. And then started going to Lambeth Mission.
Yeah.
That was the very first time, and that's where I know of yourself, and also Rianne was there at the beginning as well, weren't you, Rianne? And Sister Connie, and so the church has evolved so much. You know, there were 10 members, 10, 15, 20 members, you know, back then in Lambeth Mission, and it was quite nice. It was like a family unit, you know. And as people came to the UK and they joined, and you know, and now look at the way everything is. But yeah, my mum was Greek Orthodox. Obviously, she's passed away now, you know that. So, but yeah, she was very strict. She only had to look at you, and you sat. You sat still, and I did sit still. You know, and that is very. You know, the woman does the cooking, the woman does the cleaning. I was raised like that, and I maintain that in the household. Chairman doesn't really do a great deal in the house. But anyway, that's fine. He has a lot to do with his duties in the church, you know, and that takes up a lot of his time, and that's fine. In terms of my children, the 2 boys, that is very challenging. It has been a very challenging time with them. Because nobody teaches you how to raise your children.
Of course.
There isn't a book. There is nothing, you know, my mum was very supportive. She would come and stay, and, you know, she did her best. But I think the danger with now is they're fine up to primary school. It's when they start secondary school that, you know, the problems begin. And that is where, you know, you have to really tread very carefully in how you parent your children. And it really does depend on the child that you have. You know, because you can, like Sister Jumaka said, you can have, you know, 3 different children, and they're 3 different personalities. One will follow, the other one may not.
May not,
and
yeah.
I have 2 very, they're very strong, independent young men. They've done very well for themselves, but unfortunately, they don't come to church. Okay, but they know everything they need to know. They understand everything. They respect their dad. There is all of that. So we just hope that one day they will see the light.
By the grace of God. By the grace
We may
of God.
see them one day, who knows?
Yeah.
They might grace us with their presence.
By the grace of God.
But, you know, but they turned out good. They've done well for themselves, but that part hasn't been an easy journey.
Yeah.
In particular for the chairman, because of his position.
Of course, yeah.
You know, it's not so much, I support the chairman, I always have, and I will continue to do so, but, you know, it's difficult for me as well. You know how I am, so I'm not going to sit here and
yeah.
I am a very independent person as well. That is very important to me, just as Rianne has said. It is important for you to be independent of the man, but at the same time be interdependent as well.
Of course.
Because you need that for yourself. You know, don't ever be a needy woman.
No.
You know, stand up for yourself. and you know, and I've always been like my mum. She was that person. You know, she had to stand up for herself when my dad died, and it was very difficult for her. And so, you know, me and my brother, we have a lot of respect for her when she was alive. But anyway, so yeah, that's. Really
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yay!
Yes, that is an interesting what you just said, and we know that the church stand is that you don't, the middle children should not be at their head. But as we know, the world that we live in now is an evolving world. Things are no longer the way they used to be. A lot of things happen. And one thing we have to realize about children is for children, those things are a moment in time. It's a phase. They go through it and you move on. When Tarula and Uzezi were growing up, we used to live just 15 minutes away from church, but we were always late.
always late. They want to paint eye, paint nose. And to start with, my husband would say, I will leave that. You're not doing that. We will wait. And I said to them, we will wait for you. When you finish, we will all go late. And I will say to God first, that's what has made them continue to be here. If I had said, bye-bye, the next time they're not going to come, and that will be it. Talking about hair plaiting. I go to Canada a lot, as you all know. In Canada, we have people who do plait hair. Wole Shoyinka, hair rich like this. You name it, they have it. Pierced nose, pierced everything, they have it. I know the church, even our leaders, they go there, they see them.
They're talking to them.
They talk to them because one don't cut the hair now.
Yeah, it's got it.
It's cut his hair.
Yeah.
So it's a time, a moment in time, patience. For Professor, it might just be this year, but next year is like, you can't be done with this in 40. I don't know what to say. We don't direct what happens here. But I will encourage you and Bruce to let him come. Let him come. None of us here are ignorant that our children here plant hair. How much do they plant hair? When you don't plant and you go leave them for house, when you won't come church, you go remove them, you will come. Then one day he decided, it's too thick, I'm not doing it. And that was the end of it. Everybody with their own. Let us not lose our children because of that tiny little window where they just want to do something that they like. We all have things that we like. Yeah. I get my own. If you see, sometimes you wonder, say, now she be women finish. But that is us. It does not take, God looks at what is inside here, not our outward appearance. So that's all I have to say.
The definition of inside.
Thank you. Sisters Wado.
And a lot today. But I just want to say something. Let us try not to compare our children with anybody's children. Even among the siblings, let us try not to do it. Because they are different individuals. They have different pathways. My last child planted himself for over 4 years. And one day he called me out of the blue in Africa. Mommy, guess what? I took out the dread. I said, oh, really? You need to send mommy photos. So everybody have their pathways. So we've all said a lot of things. Comparing your child, and for those that are not quite there, you know, some of us, we have not experienced what teenager does at all. You haven't gotten to that stage. Or you are quick to say, if that I became, by the time I will do this, sister, I say, wait, your turn will come. And when your turn comes, I pray God to give you the strength. Let us not be judgmental. Let us not jump into conclusion about anybody's child. Be proud of your own child. For the fact that they are not, whatever they are doing, God has given you that child. We are the custodians of that child. And God has given us the way to maintain them, the way to do the little we can do. Above all, let us leave it to God. But my last message to each and every one of you, do not compare your child with anybody's child. Yes. Nobody's child is better. My one is better. Your one is better. Let's celebrate that. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
No.
Online.
This is our day.
I just feel
Although
like
we go
share
house,
this,
but carry on.
When I was much younger in the church, we used to have the young girls. They used to dress. And I'm like, why do you dress like this? As I grew, I began to understand that, okay, this is different. Calm down. So one day we had a session like this, and I don't know if anybody remembers anyway, but one of the sisters was being targeted by how the daughter dresses. And it made the woman actually cry. And then later, one other woman was talking in the queue, and I said to her, I said this, everybody gets in job. I was quite young. I said, if this woman is like this, crying, then you know what she's going through at home. Sometimes you just need to share people's, you just need to feel it themselves. And I said to her one day, I said, I would prefer that my child comes to church with me naked than the church doesn't come at home. I said, I guess to a point, the child will see I'm the only one naked, and the child will wear clothes. If you see the children now, when I look at them, I just say, how did this happen? Because they kept coming, they are still here, and they dress better. So sometimes let us just be patient with them, let us pray. Like everybody has said, it is when you tell them, don't follow me, don't do this, you are losing them, you don't even know until they are gone. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Sister Yerome.
And those children,
Get your microphone because of people online. Because if you watch online,
yes. Yeah, and those children who've left, and those children who've left.
They've not left. They just
they're on a different path.
That's why I probably say to my daughter, they're on holiday.
Children,
they will always come back. Yes. Because if my editor has given me a quotation like this, some of the quotations I'm not going to remember. Then they will quote and give me. I'll say, okay, I don't hear, ma. I don't hear, ma. But one day you will come.
That's so.
But the younger one, like the people they do now. I'm saying you come this Sunday, and the other Sunday if you tired, no problem. The other one will come. So we're going to calculate Sundays. And she's the kind of person that she's not very friendly, she's very quiet. Don't be like a mama, very quiet. So she likes to be by herself most of the time. So that's why sometimes, as soon as she comes after service, she will go. After service, she will go. But the only thing I do with them is that we are best of friends. Nothing they cannot discuss with me. Even if I even want to discuss menstruation with another one, say, Mommy, I know what it is, you don't need to tell me.
Hello, sisters. We thank God for all what we'll be able to talk today. One thing I want to say, bringing up children is more the duty of the mother. Your children are always closer to you. No matter how wrong, anything bad they do, try to shield them. Then in your quiet moment, you always explain to them, say, look, you know that you will not like this thing. So, but don't just always be the side of your husband, 2 to 1. Try make them have a part of it. And the children of this generation, they are very sensitive. They know a lot. I say this, you know I have only one son, Voki. Even before Voki came over, he told me, he said, Mommy, you know I'm a man. Once I start having children, you won't be seeing my children like the way my wife's mom will see the children. And the children, whatever she wants to do with them, that's what. I said, I understand. And by God's grace, that is what is happening. And I take it the way it comes, so that we don't have barrier between us. So I want to enjoy all of us to listen to our children, communicate with them. They might not do what we want now, but by God's grace, they know the right thing. Our children are not bad children. They are not bad. They are individual. Even we, the parents, there are certain things we won't want somebody to tell us to do. So we should still look at them like that. By God's grace, we will all enjoy the fruit of our labor.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Sister Maureen, Sister Jumoke, and Sister Rianne. Thank you. Thank you, sisters. So time is now spent. Reminded me about things also, and I also picked something from what our mommy here said. It kind of reminds us that we're lucky to be living in this age that we are living in. Yeah. So whenever we hear from our mothers, it makes us to realize, even at their time too, what they were going through, people before them had it differently. So part of what we talked about today is about being content. When Sister Naze was talking about mindfulness and emotional well-being, is being content. Let us be content with what we have, with our lot. As Sister Maureen said, we are good people. And we have produced good people. Our children are good. So we'll round up this session. I want us to...
Action!
Sisters!
Agree!
You are great. Sisters, thank you for turning up. Sisters were doing.
As we can see, the second segment of this Sisters Day 2025 has just ended, and that is the panel session. We give God Almighty the glory for a successful panel session.
Me, I just love to see
By the grace of God, we are here. The panel session is just finished, and we're going to the session where we want to learn how to make ogi and akamu. As you can see, Sister Lucky, the chief chef, Sister Lucky is in charge of this session. You can see her getting the blender ready, and sisters are sitting to learn how to make akamu, which goes with moi moi / akara, otherwise known as bean cake. But when it comes to cake, we don't know how. You can use there for the blending because extension might be, yeah. Let's use that direct one there for the blending. Then we will come back here to do the final bit. So right now it's just Sister Lucky is getting the blender ready. There's a direct plug there. It might not be long enough, but we will.
How long will you soak the beans?
I'm coming. I will.
Yes, she will talk through it because I think some aspect of it has been done. Okay. Sisters are seated. They are eager to see the process of akamu. Akamu, ogi, and what other name? Pap. Okay, pap in English. Is it English food? Why should they give it English name? It's akamu English food or African food?
It's African food.
So why has it got English name?
I think it's debatable.
It's debatable.
South Africans have their own kind of pap as well, it's similar to this.
The Ghana too.
Yeah, so I think it's because it's corn. So I think pap is actually corn.
Pap is corn.
Yeah, I think pap is corn.
But it's South Africa, it's West Africa, it's East Africa, because I know the Kenya, they got one as well. So I'm not sure why it's got an English name. Because if you ask an Englishman about akamu, They don't know.
You don't know.
So who gave Akamu English name?
Sister Lucky should be able to educate us.
Why? We say pap because you are the chief chef. We say Akamu is traditional meal. So who gave it? Who gave it an English name, pap, when it's not English food?
I don't know who gave it pap. I know Akamu is Yoruba. But it's pap. Ogis Yoruba. Abi?
Akamu is Delta. Worry.
Is it Delta?
Yeah. Delta General.
Okay, and Bende. And
Bende.
Ogis
It's Yoruba Eastern area.
Pap. I don't know who gave it pap, but yes.
Then the problem now is
we don't know where the
because Akamu
from.
is not Oyibo food. It's not English food.
It's African.
Why did they give it pap?
Investigate why they give
young boys, the boys, they normally call her pap.
Okay. Okay. So it's not English name. Okay, thank you, Mama.
Does anybody have
Thank
their
you, Mama.
bag in there?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm coming.
I think the pap is the English name.
It's an English name. It's in there. It's Ogi, often called pap in English.
Ogi.
So it's a
Often
Nigerian
called
made
pap in
from
English.
fermented man.
Are you sure that Gugu is not a Nigerian man?
I don't know. But it's Google.
Yes, because he said it's Ogi. And Ogi is from Nigeria. He says some people, the English name is pap. I think that Gugu is an Urobo man. Okay, sisters, we are ready for the second, no, it's not the second segment, it's the third segment of this Sisters Day 2025. By the grace of God, viewers, you can see the sisters are seated ready for the cooking session. And this session, by the grace of God, we're going to learn how to do Akamu, Ogi, aka pap. I've got the experts here. The pap Akamu Ogi pap expert, Sister Lucky Afun. Please talk us through this process.
Okay, so today we're going to be making Ogi pap. What's that name? Akamu. Yeah, for her. So to make this, you need your corn, maize, whichever we call it. So here we've got the broken one. And I've sent the picture in the type of corn you need in the Women Fellowship group. I just sent the picture out.
Okay, wait. The type of corn is it fresh or dry?
It's dry. It's a dried broken corn.
Okay.
So you have the white. If you like white ogi or white pap, you will need the white one. But I got the yellow one.
Okay.
So this you soak it for. Sometimes I do 2 days. I can even do for the next day. But some people like it sour.
Mm-hmm.
So you can soak it for longer. And when you soak it, when you want it sour, you don't change the water regularly.
Okay.
You leave it.
So it can ferment?
Yes. I don't like it sour. Sorry guys. So I have to change the water.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, some people don't like it sour.
I don't like it sour as well, yeah.
But that's smell some people like it.
Of course.
I know, yeah. So I change the water every day. And we see that now it looks, and this is the same corn I use for the beans and corn I make also.
Okay.
Yeah, same corn I use. Okay. And so you soak this for 2-3 days. Change the water if you want to, or leave it if you want it to be fermented.
Why do we have to soak it?
It's quite hard to
to blend.
Yeah, and you need soft. Yeah.
Does the soaking add texture to it?
Texture. It makes it softer, so and the blender will work less.
Okay,
yeah,
so
make it soft.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to blend this, and I've got all my stuff I need over there.
Over there.
Once
Okay.
you blend this, you have to sieve. It's a lot of work. Right? I'm going to show you guys how to. I'm going to show you how to do it once I've done this.
Mic, just in case the people at home. Okay.
They can't see this place, so they're not.
Okay. They can see, but they can't hear. That's what we were told.
So you
but
need
it's
a lot
okay.
of water doing this because you need.
And that we need a wireless one, the one we're using inside.
Well, they still can't hear because they said the mic is not connected here.
Okay, no worries. Yeah.
With this, you need a very strong blender for this because it's quite hard. So it's really good. And you have your bushy mist. I don't know what yet, but this is really good. Just is a very good one to be able to do this. So this is ninja or bushy mist.
So we're going to
Okay,
blend
so
it.
I'm going to blend this. I normally use the max blend. And I skip this. I just go straight to high.
So while the blending is going on, you can see some sisters here watching and getting ready for it to go ahead as we've seen today by the grace of God. Our mama, we thank God that you are in our midst today, ma. So far, how have you seen it? Generally, from the beginning till now, today, how have you seen it?
Very good.
Very good. Thank you very much, ma.
Just let me come and witness it today.
Thank you,
So
ma.
I enjoyed it.
We're glad you enjoyed it, and we enjoyed your talk. Because the words of the elders are always words of wisdom. And when we have you in our midst, we're quite happy and feel privileged to hear from you. Thank you very much, ma.
Temu, Shein, Amazon, the mesh to sieve your akamu. Yeah?
Okay,
What's
so-
it called? Yeah, yeah, the word, yeah.
What's
You
the
can get
word for it again?
Cheese, what do you call it? Cheese cloth.
Okay,
cloth,
cheese.
yeah.
Oh, the one they use for cheese.
yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's good.
So this is what you need.
So you're gonna sieve what you've blended.
So blend the next one.
A volunteer? A volunteer for Sister Lucky to... Okay. Sister Connie is here.
I brought the wrong pot.
Okay, the pot is too wide.
So usually you need to get a bowl that this is big and tie it round. So that
Okay.
it stays still. Yeah. Before you do that. Okay, this one they bigger. Yeah, but let's get another bowl because I'm aware. Okay. Yeah.
So that is the sieving process about to take place.
So we'll get another bowl so that we can do that one because of time.
Okay.
But when you're doing it at home, get like Sister Lucky has this. Me, I use pillowcase.
That's
Buy
what we
yourself
used to
a
use.
new white pillowcase. Wash it, and then you can use it to do this.
That's what the one we use.
So once you blend this is how it's going to look like.
Okay, let's see.
So, that's it.
Oh.
Okay. So some people, like the Jamaican, they can have it like this direct, make it like this.
Yeah.
So it's better you see some, cornmeal. That's how they make their cornmeal. Like
Oh,
this.
okay.
Yes.
So that's how they make cornmeal.
They don't have to do what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
They do their one.
So they don't take out the shaft.
No.
So what if they don't take off the shaft? How can we feed the goats?
Well, so so you pour that in. You need a lot of water while you're doing that.
So you blend the next one. She'll be helping Jane. Oh yeah, you go and blend the next one.
Okay, so the sieving process is going on.
Jumoke, come.
Please come.
Sieving process is going on at the moment.
Jumoke, come and hold. So that's why you need to tie it.
Yes, so you don't need somebody to hold.
Yes, no worry. We've got it. You go and blend the next one.
As you can see, a lot of helping hands there. As you can see, just because the other bag is too small for that pan. If not, it would have been a lot easier if you can tie it round. So the sieving process is going on to remove the shaft from the wheat. Reminds me of the parable of Jesus Christ. The separation of the sheep and from the goats. So as we are looking at it, let's also reflect. What category are we going to fall into? Are we the shaft or the wheat? We pray to be the wheat. The separation is going on.
Lift them up.
And that shaft can be very, very beneficial.
Fiber.
Well,
fiber.
The Brazilian people, they mix it and they make like a bread from it.
From the shaft.
Yeah, they have like a
corn bread.
They put cheese in there.
Yeah.
And in Nigeria, they use it to feed the farm animals.
Yes.
The goats. Yeah, if it was home now, there would be a lot of chicken and goat waiting for their meal. Yes, the sieving process is going on. And nothing is wasted here because that shaft is also beneficial. It can be fiber as well.
Yeah, that shaft should be fine.
If you use it to make some meals.
Because it's taking
all the starch, the starchy bit out. So it's like pokpogari.
Yes.
When you do pokpogari, the cassava, you take out the starch, then you use the shaft for pokpogari, and that's why pokpogari is fiber and healthy. Thank you, Mama. My mama is here to testify. Pokpogari on point. Yes.
Okay, I think we're done with this.
I'm going to use. Can you see?
Okay. See?
There we go.
See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They are coming gradually.
It's coming gradually.
Gradually.
Okay. So we'll let it settle.
Let it settle.
Okay, I will come back after we've.
Well, if you take it like that, if you make it,
you can make it if you want to. Yeah.
If you want to make now, you can make it. But it might be a bit watery.
No, it's not too watery.
Okay, less water to mix it. Okay, that's good. That's good. Breakfast meal back in Africa. It's good. Good for us. Especially when we see the main thing. Okay, she doubled it. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is lunch time. Should I call it lunch or should I call it dinner? Our chefs. Is this lunch or dinner?
Dinner.
Dinner.
We're going for dinner.
Okay. Okay, what have we got today?
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
Mixed meat and coleslaw.
Wow, that's great. And we had all the meat pie and everything later.
Sister Mercy made the rice.
Oh, Sister Mercy, you made the rice. Okay, I would taste and see. Yeah. Yes. I make my decision. So, lunch/dinner time. Everyone is enjoying their meal on this great day, Sisters Day 2025.
I will give them Sprite.
Okay. Sister Ella and Sister Ware.
It's like
how have you seen this thing today? As a young sister with us, what can you say?
Very good, very interesting. I like the brief topic about children.
Okay, that's good, that's good. Same for you. That's good. Very good. Now we are enjoying our food, yeah? Yeah, so sisters enjoying their food in unity. To God's glory. We thank God. Okay. So what's this process, please?
So we are trying to get out the excess water from the ogi.
Okay.
So we're going to leave this and put a weight on it.
So that's the sieve kind of.
Yeah, you can see the water is coming out.
And that water is still got a bit of color. That means it's still got a bit of pap in it.
Yes, so that is why we're going to come back to this point. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's just leave this here.
Leave that one there.
Okay. Put this there. Normally I put a weight on this.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Yeah. But I'm just going to tie this and
put it on top.
Just leave them on top. Stay.
Leave. That's what I'm saying. It's fridge.
yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Normally you leave it for a couple of hours to settle before you put it inside the chiffon
I think
bag.
So we can
before you actually strain it, you should have white water on the
on top.
Clear white.
Clear, okay.
So this is
Colorless.
Yes.
Colorless.
Most of the time, Ogi has to be very patient. You leave it, forget about it.
Okay.
Go back to, you see the white clear water on the top.
Okay.
Because of time, we have to do this, yeah?
Okay, yeah. So we'll leave it for now while we go for the next activity by the grace of God. Yes. Yes, so we thank God. Now we are waiting for the Akamoto settle so that we know. Sister Abby, while we are waiting for the Akamoto settle, can you please just give us a summary of what we have done today? Please, the viewers want to know what we have enjoyed here today. Please, the Financial Secretary of GKS Women Fellowship United Kingdom.
Sisters what do?
Hey!
Sisters what do?
Hey! Sisters action! Sisters are great! Sisters motto! Faith, hope and charity. All right, our dear sister. Yes, this background is better. All right.
To thank God Almighty and His beloved Son Jesus Christ, and to thank all my beautiful sisters that have taken their time to come and experience today's Sisters Day. The fact that those of us that are able to come in are here today, I personally would say it is our gain, I shouldn't say it's their loss, but it has been very, very beneficial. From when we started, we had the emotional well-being, the mindfulness, the life in the UK for the GKS woman, and to this activity session has been very, very helpful. So I want to enjoin our sisters that they should continue to see how if we have Sisters Day, if they have any suggestion, let them bring it so that we can consider it and do it. However, it will also be helpful for them to try and come. If you cannot come, please, let us have your conversation, participate, so that we will all be part of it. And I thank everybody that has made it possible for us to be together to attend this. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you, Sister Abby. We thank God for everything that He has done for us today. Next. God Almighty for the success that has crowned the Sisters Day 2025 by His grace. We've come to the end of this year's Sisters Day here in United Kingdom, but we still have a mass meeting tomorrow by the grace of God. After the service, there will be mass meeting. As you can see, we have been well fed today with knowledge from all aspects, including the physical food. As you can see, there is a lot to take away. Let's show them. A lot to eat and a lot to take away. This Sisters Day 2025. Meat pie to take away. Jollof rice to take away. Coleslaw to take away.
You know what you have been doing?
Ogi to take away. Look at the ogi to take away. So if you have not made this year's Sisters Day, you have missed a lot. Next year's Sisters Day, please put it in your calendar and make sure you make it. And on behalf of the Women Fellowship United Kingdom branch, we say thank you and God bless. Thank you.